Hello. I know, I'm like, what is it going? Welcome to the Blogging Bunch Hangout. We are here. We're a little late today, but that's okay. And I'm trying out a new computer here, so I'm in a kind of a new area. I don't have all my cute stuff behind me. Sorry, my new computer's already not working. I don't have a name down here, but I am Sarah, and I blog at the Blogging Bunch, and I just rebranded my mommy blog site from Play to Learn with Sarah to Life, Love, and Time into a food blog. So I'm kind of all like food focused right now and trying to learn about food blogging, which is massively competitive.
Yeah, kind of scary because you have to cook. Not scary, you have to cook, but if I had to cook, it's scary.
Yeah.
That's why I only do like random food posts. So I'm Carrie from carriel.com, and I sometimes blog about food, but only when I have to.
Right.
Only when it's really easy, like, especially when there's no cooking.
You've done some good ones though.
I've done some good ones.
Carrie had a big thing happen on Mother's Day with one of her food posts.
Oh my gosh, I had to think about it. I did have my Chewbacca hash browns tweeted out by the Chewbacca, Peter Mayhew, tweeted my hash browns, a picture of my hash browns out to the Star Wars universe. And I'm so grateful. Unfortunately, I'm not getting a lot of traffic for those, but my Star Wars friends, that I have in my life have told me they see them everywhere. So people have taken the pictures and are just sharing it. But so it kind of gets back to what we're gonna talk about today. But like I'm so excited about that, and like that's such a great post for me. And I don't care. I don't even care because that's like why I love to blog is to make Chewbacca hash browns, and then Chewbacca tweets them.
I know, like. What else could you do that you could get to Chewbacca?
Nothing. But yeah, there's no
other job, like maybe doing hair, but there's no other job that you could get to Chewbacca.
Right, exactly. So I just so excited about that. Such a big day.
Yeah.
Charles came in and woke me up on Mother's Day because he actually follows him on Facebook, on Twitter. I didn't. He's like, look, your hash browns are on. Chewbacca tweeted your hash browns. And I was like, just go away, go away, go away. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. I wanted to sleep in Mother's Day. And then a little bit later, I woke up and I was like, what? I grabbed my phone and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's super amazing.
So fun. So yeah, that was great.
So what we're talking about today is mindset and really checking in with your mindset. And this is one of those things you can get to these people and that has to energize you, and that has to kind of change your mindset. If you're like, oh, nobody's paying attention, nobody gives a crap about what I'm posting about, and then you wake up and Chewbacca has tweeted your picture, that's got to really change your mindset, and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have just a Star Wars blog, yeah,
I'm doing it for the right reasons. People are connecting with it.
Right. Yeah. And it made a difference in people's lives, and people are liking it. And, so I think that's really, that was really cool. I'm totally jealous.
Yeah. I'm awesome. I'm so excited. Charles is jealous too.
Yeah. So mindset, I wanted to talk about, I know that I have struggled with mindset over the last 3 years of really trying to be more of a professional blogger and trying to move into my blog as a business. And you do get kind of down in the whole nobody's seeing. I had page views and now I have no page views, or some of those things you get down, or you just have to really kind of work on your mindset. What do you do when you start to see okay, I'm not resonating or people aren't sharing my stuff? What is it that you do?
I think it always feels like you said, my page views aren't there or people aren't responding. And to me, it's always kind of like this. And for a while, my page views were really, really high. And now they're down lower, but then I had Chewbacca tweet out my hash browns, so it's kind of like this balance of different things that are up and down at different times. And I think that just staying the course and staying motivated and waiting out those blank spots has been kind of challenging, but I think that's the most important thing that I've done, is to kind of wait out those blank spots and just stay the course, really. And that's kind of what I tell myself all the time, no matter what I'm feeling or no matter what I'm thinking or no matter how it feels to blog today or how unmotivated I feel. I just always tell myself that today I'm just gonna do it. No matter what, I'm gonna do it. And then like with those hash browns, I'm gonna put in 100 hash browns. So funny. Like I don't cook. I really don't. I told Charles what to do. I stood over him and like told him how to make hash browns and add the bacon and all that. But like with those, you know, when I had to do that post, and it was like, that was a hard post to write because it was an egg post. It was a sponsored post for eggs. And at first I'm like, I could just do how to do scrambled eggs because that would be easier, you know, like how to do the perfect scrambled eggs. And then I sat on it and I waited, and then I thought, no, you know, I'm going to put 110% in on this. So I'm going to go all in with the Star Wars eggs and the hash browns. And it pays off 6 months later.
Right.
You don't ever really know when people are going to see it or respond to it or what's going to happen. I mean, I wrote that post in October or November.
Yeah.
You know, and now it's getting traffic.
Well, and it was something fun for you to do, right? It was kind of a challenge.
Yeah. And it was kind of hard to do when I was doing it, but like the picture, like taking the pictures, and then when I put it together, like I know when I put a post out, like I know if this post is a good post or not. And sometimes I do stuff and I'm like, you know, I didn't give 100%. I know it. I didn't put 110% in on this post, and it doesn't feel as good as when I did that post, which I was like, okay, this is awesome. I'm excited to write this. I cannot wait to share it with everybody. You know, that's a totally different feeling than some of the other posts I've done where I'm like, this is mediocre work and I know it. I could do better.
Well, and then it goes also back to making sure that once you hit post, right, then you put it on Facebook, you put it on Twitter, you put it on Pinterest, like that you're promoting it and that you come back to it, you know, every month or so and pin it again so that it's getting new traffic. So
yeah, and I'm bad about that. I'm bad about like, I'll write something and then I forget about it and it's gone. Now this I remember because May the 4th was coming up, right? So I kind of started promoting it again like a month ago. But that's so important, and I never think to do that. Like we were just talking about earlier about like promoting your old posts and stuff, and I've got a list of posts that I need to promote and share and redo, and that's such a like ongoing. You have to keep it fresh.
Yeah, and that's where Board Booster is really helping me with that, because I have my blog board set for looping. So then I just pin it to my blog board, and Board Booster takes care of resharing that content. But then also for the summer, one of the Hangouts, we talked about redoing old posts and getting those, you know, like that's going to save us time in the summer. Is I've already written this post, but like the one I'm doing today is my Moscato slushy. And it gets a lot of traffic on Pinterest, but the pictures just aren't very good at all. So I'm going to go and remake it and take better pictures, right? Like
that's too bad. You have to remake the Moscato.
I know, darn. But like, you know, so going back through and what are some of your, you know, check your analytics. What are some of your better posts that you just don't like the pictures, or that like are perfect for summer that you could just redo and it'll take you, you know, 15 minutes to redo this post rather than writing a new post? And
yeah, you know, I have one, like my apple cider vinegar post, you know, we talk about that, like how I get all that Google traffic from it. And it's a sponsored post from 2 years ago with crappy pictures. So I'm going to make it a not sponsored post. I mean, it's been 2 years now, so I don't feel bad about, you know, taking that out. I'm going to make it into a fresh post with some, you know, new pictures. All I have to do is go take a couple pictures of some apple cider vinegar I have around the house. And I mean, all I have to do, and it's never that easy, but you know, like I can refresh that post easily. Google already loves that post, and then I can make it more Pinterest friendly. And so, and you know, Pinterest, I have, one of my pins is like #1 on Google for the Sophia the First party, you know? So it's like, I didn't even think about that, but my pins are SEO, or if that's it. I mean, that pin, you go click in, you know, type in pin the tail and minimus, which people do. I didn't realize that, but people type that in, pin the tail and minimus, and there's my pin #1. There's my blog post #2. So it's like, I mean, gosh, Pinterest is important.
Yeah, and that Pinterest is super important, because if you Google something, like #2 and #3 are almost always a Pinterest board.
Yeah.
So SEOing your Pinterest, which I did a hangout on how to do that, like keywords on Pinterest, you know, go through our hangouts and you'll find that. But your Pinterest boards can totally be up there, and that can get you traffic also, you know. And so back to the mindset though. seeing your stuff getting up there, getting, you know, like pin the tail on minimus, like, you know, maybe 50, 100 people a month they're typing that in, but they're all coming to you first because you are number one.
And
right?
I wish that that's another post where I wish I had done a better job on that one. Like when I took those pictures, it was dark. I didn't get my camera, you know, wasn't getting good pictures. I don't love the pictures for that. And I'm not going to redo it because I had to paint minimus and the kids color all over him. And like, there's no way I'm doing that again. But I wish those pictures had been better because I know I didn't put, you know, 110% into that particular image, those 2 images, or I did the best I could, but they're not perfect how I want them to be. But they're still number 1 on Google. So go Google pin the tail on minimus and click on my minimus.
Yeah. So your mindset, it can be changed by like, is this a challenge? Am I blogging about my passion? Am I blogging about things that I love? Am I excited about my posts? Am I finding a way to be a little creative and show my creativity? And so maybe it's not so much about other people approving or other people finding you, you know, right off the bat, but about that you're doing a good job of, and you're posting, or you have a plan too, right? Like I know that I've done these posts, these recipe posts, and they're not getting a ton of traffic right now, but if I add all these recipes together, then that makes one big kind of overarching site. And so that you're thinking about, okay, well, this post isn't necessarily getting a ton of traffic right now, but it's going to build on this poster. Like we were talking about, I got my kids to eat quinoa this week. And so I'm going to do this post about like the quinoa recipe, but I made the quinoa with homemade chicken stock. So I need to do a homemade chicken stock post first. So then I can refer that back. So thinking about like your strategy and the setup of your post and the setup of your site, and having a strategy, sitting down and thinking about like, these are the keywords, these are the posts I want to write about. Like I have these are my categories, and you're working a plan. And that will help. That helps with mindset because I know what I'm going to do. And when I don't know what I'm going to do, just like with my meal planning, that's when I end up with crap.
Yeah. And like that in everything, right? It's all across your life. Like when you don't have a plan, what do they say? Plan to fail the plan. Like, right. You know,
yeah.
Fail to plan to fail.
Yes, there you go. I don't know. That doesn't make sense.
Fail
right?
to plan. If you fail to plan to fail. If you don't plan, you're gonna fail. Yeah. Whatever.
We're not up on today, apparently. But anyway, so having that plan is going to change your mindset, right? Yeah. Having a plan changes your mindset. Knowing you're working your plan, even if it's not getting you the results you want right this second, you know, like she talked about like a 6-month-old pin, and I've had pins come back a year later and go off the charts. You know, like you don't know when it's going to hit. So really making sure that you're doing what you want and you're doing what you love. And like, I really struggled with my site too. I wanted to be, you know, I'm a professional blogger, right? But then like other things got in the way. Life gets in the way. And if you want to make money, you want to be a professional blogger, you need to treat it differently. Yeah. And that's part of the mindset that I wanted to talk about today too, in that it needs to be a business. If you want it to be a business, then you need to treat it like a business, and you need to put time into it every single day. And even if it's, you know, a few seconds a day of penning things, but you know your plan. Like I know I've got a post next week, so I've got to go to the store this week and get these things. Like that, you have a plan of what you're doing. So treating it like a business, not going for maybe a free site, because that's going to not get you the traffic. You know, going the free route, like you can't do everything free and expect it to be 100% like top of the charts. Like if you look at those blogs, these people are spending money on hosting. They're spending money on a separate, not a shared hosting plan, you know, like even not a free site. not even a shared hosting plan. Like I'm still on shared hosting because my site's not big enough, but getting to where you have your own server so that you're getting a faster download speed, that people, when they hit your site, it's coming up faster. Spending money on photography classes. Carrie just got a brand new camera too. I got a new computer so that things are going faster for me. And if things are going faster, then I can work faster and get things done in those 30 seconds that we're going to have to do things this summer because our kids are going to be home. Right. But like approaching it like a business and not just a hobby. I think that's part of mindset too.
Yeah, I think I think about when I put out content, real content, not just like when I write something silly. Like I'm going to probably write this post about when I fell down like last month, and it was just, I have these pictures of it, and the pictures are kind of funny now that I'm not like bleeding anymore.
Is that when you broke your camera?
Pretty serious injuries. Yeah, when I fell and broke my camera, I've got pictures of like my broken camera and my new iPhone that I fell, was taking pictures as I fell. So I'm like, this would be a good blog post. But so for that kind of stuff, that's different. But like when I do a real blog post that like I'm gonna pin, and I'm gonna share it on Twitter, and I want people to see it, I try to tell myself, okay, this has to be 100% professional. This has to look amazing. This has to look like it could be go in a magazine. And that's why I think of my website, my blog. I don't really think of it as my blog. When I talk to my husband about it, I don't even call it my blog. I call it my website, my site. And I think of it as an online publication. And that's kind of like where I'm headed with it, is like, this is my online magazine that, when I was a kid, right, I would make like fake little magazines and give them to my friends. Well, this is like my real magazine that's online. And so I'm trying to keep that in mind with all my content. So are these pictures amazing? Do these look awesome? If they're not perfect, I'm not going to put them on my site anymore. If they don't look right, they're going to get scrapped. They're not going to go on my website. And so I try to keep that like level of professionalism, 90% of the time, not always, because I'm going to talk about my injuries and that's not going to be professional, but I try to keep that in mind. And sometimes it's a lot harder to put in that kind of work than if I took the easy road. And so like when I do a video, I hardly ever do videos, right? But like I have a post that I've been waiting to write now for weeks because I need to do a video. I want to do a video with it, and I want the video to be perfect. And it's been raining for like a month, and it can't be raining because I can't wear my new shoes outside in the rain and do my video. So I've been waiting and waiting and waiting, and I keep pushing that back because I have standards that I have in my mind of what I want that post and those pictures in that video to look like. And so that's kind of hard sometimes, but I think it's worth it. And just stay in the course, setting your expectations for yourself high, and then trying to meet them or exceed them.
And there's a difference between like just getting started, right? Yes. We're talking about taking it to the next level. What we're talking about is like not the, hey, you just have to get started and you just have to put up a post, right? Like you have to get in the routine of posting. You have to get in the routine of doing all those things. And we totally understand that. Like what we're talking about is then going from, okay, I have the routine, I have a blog, I want to take it to the next level. And I want to be a professional blogger. And, these are the things that you have to really think about. You have to be out there on those social media sites. You have to be in groups. You have to be connecting with other bloggers. You have to be, you have to work on your photography. You have to do certain things in order to get, and you have to think, right? Like, even if I'm trying to do these things, I have to change the way I'm thinking about my site in order to get there. Right. And I'm not talking like happy guru kind of stuff. I'm talking just about like literally, if you think it's just your hobby, then guess what? You treat it like a hobby, and everybody else does too. And that's fine if that's the way you want to go. That's good. But don't expect to make $1,000 a month on that site. Right.
You got to put it, I mean, it's like a small business. And I think that the more I put into it, the more I get out of it. And that's not just money, but that's money and time and energy, and learning to take better pictures and writing better content, tighter content, and all that stuff. I think that more I put in, the more I get out. But that's the thing that where you have to remember too, like this is where you have to stay the course, because not every month is going to give me the benefits that I feel like I put in, the time for. So sometimes I feel like I'm working so hard for months and then nothing. I'm not getting anything back, but you just have to keep doing it, because then you will start to get the returns. And like this month, I have a lot of high paying sponsored posts, but not a lot, I shouldn't say a lot, but they're paying more, right? So coming up in the next couple months, like I'm not doing as much work or not as many posts, but I'm going to make the same amount of money. And so to me, it's great, versus like 6 months ago when I was just getting a bunch of stuff up and writing a bunch of posts, but I wasn't getting as paid as much for them. But it's just keeping the same level of work, even when you're not getting jobs, which is hard.
And true to yourself and true to your plan and true to your vision.
Well, like you had to find out, like, what is your vision? What is your plan, right? And it took you a while to kind of come around to it. And now it's like you're laser focused on it, because now you know exactly what it is that you're doing. Like, I feel like you have the first like moment of clarity that you've had in a while.
A long time. Yeah. And it really, and that's what why I was like, okay, this mindset thing, like, I feel like I've moved into a different level with my mindset. Like I wasn't sure what I was doing. And so I people weren't signing up for a newsletter because they didn't know what they were going to get. I wasn't getting Google traffic, because they didn't know what they were going to get. Like, I didn't know what I was 100% focused on. I was still trying to find myself, and that's fine. But then once I kind of, and it's only been a few months now that I kind of like moved into this new area, it was totally different. This was a different kind of blogging for me. It was easy. It was, like, it made my life easier, and I could cook for my kids and post at the same time. And like, it was easy. So, and I'm not saying that it's easy all the time, but it was easier.
You're excited about it.
Right.
I think like when you're excited about something, that's like a sign that you're on the right track. And when you're writing content you're not excited about, like when I had to write doing a bunch of sponsored posts that I took because I needed money, which I was excited about the money, right, but I wasn't loving the content, then it's like, oh, I wish I didn't have to do this. But now I'm trying to only pick things that I get really excited about. And I think that breeds better jobs.
Yes.
And opportunities and better content.
Right. And by focusing my site down, I'm going to lose a bunch of jobs for a while.
Yeah. Right.
I have to go back and say, I'm going to lose traffic. I'm going to lose jobs. I'm going to lose some of that money. Like, I had one of the highest paying months last month. And I'm going to lose some of that because I need to focus on, foods. But I think in the long run, I can see the vision. I have a plan, right? Like, suddenly that opens up for you, and you can stay the course a little bit better. And you can see, yeah, I am putting in all this work, but I'm really very certain that I'm going to get it back, where I was putting in all this work all along.
Yeah.
And it was taking me so much longer to do a post because I didn't know, it just didn't feel right.
Yeah. And then when it feels right, like, it sounds so like hippy dippy, we watched Lego Movie yesterday. Claire always thinks that's hilarious. She goes, hippy dippy baloney. But anyway, it does. It feels like that when you say, oh, you got to go with your heart, go with your gut. But I think it's so true, because blogging is not for most of us, unless you're like working for an organization running their blog, for most of us, blogging comes from the heart, and it comes from your experiences, and it comes from you. And I think that, if you're not excited about what you're doing, you should do something else. Yeah. If you're not getting, the results you want, and there's a reason outside of just, just put in the time. Like, a lot of people, 3 months, like we see in our group all the time, right? Yeah. Like, I'm not getting any traffic. And it's like, come on, you just started. You give it a year and then complain about your traffic. But if it's not something that you're passionate about, if you're not writing content you're passionate about, then nobody's gonna care about it, because you don't care about it.
And if you're trying to, like, I know a lot of people are concerned about online safety, and those are completely legitimate things. But if you're not if you can't figure out how to share yourself in those posts and your personality, and maybe not share all your personal information, but share your personality and your true self in those posts, then people aren't going to respond to that. And, you know, a lot of those things that you see shared on Facebook are people sharing their parenting ups, or, you know, like that's what I see. And we have a couple of moms in our site that are in our group that really kind of go that whole parenting route. And this is real life parenting stuff. And I like that stuff. And I tried to, and then there's that whole like, okay, well, can I be like them and write those things too? And I can write a few of them. I can't churn it out like they churn it out.
Yeah, that's definitely like when I started blogging, I thought that's the kind of blogger I was going to be.
Yeah.
But then like for me, it got weird with my kids. I started thinking like, I'm not comfortable with these pictures, and not saying that other people shouldn't be at all. It was just for me, I started thinking like, I have one child that doesn't like to be in the spotlight. So why should I be telling about his stories? You know, he is not comfortable with this. Now what makes me think he's gonna be comfortable about it in 10 years from now? So I kind of backed off of that, and I changed my focus. And that was kind of at a time too where I wasn't really sure where my space was going to be, because I thought, well, this is what I thought I was. I thought I was going to be a parenting blogger, and I still think I have a parenting blog, a parenting website, but it's not, you know, so much my deep parenting from the trenches anymore as it is, you know, like make this costume for your kids.
Right.
And that's what works better for me. Now, sometimes I wish that I had the energy, or I wish I could still write those posts, but you know, this stuff just flows better, and I'm liking what I'm doing. And that was kind of something I had to find for myself. And I love to read all those other parenting blogs that talk about those things that I can relate to. But yeah, like you, like they're hard to churn out.
They are. But if that's your thing and it's not hard for you to turn out, then, you know, go with that.
Yeah.
But my point with that also is comparing, right? Like you can compare, oh, look at, why can't I be that site or something like that? And you don't know all the background that's gone in it, you know, like it took her 10 years to be an overnight success. Like there's a lot of work that has gone on that you don't see behind the scenes. You just see like, oh, they've got all this, or, you know, there are some sites that I see and I'm like, how the hell do they have like 3 times the traffic I do?
Oh yeah, there's some sites like that too that I see where I'm like, what?
Right? So you don't, but
they might have been just plugging away. They're just plugging away at it. And like, that's the thing. You don't even have to be great. If you're consistent and you work hard, you will get ahead. And I think that's the case in life in general.
You disappeared. You're stuck scratching your head in your little thing, and then you're black. I guess that's Google Plus telling us we're done.
Oh, can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Okay.
I don't know what happened to your video though.
All right, I turned my camera. I just turned it off and back on, and now it's on, and it's still. Oh, am I back?
Yeah, there you are.
All right.
Yeah, but like that comparison thing also, that will get you in trouble, you know, or like, hey, I want to be like them. And if that's not your true kind of personality, then that's going to be hard for you to do. So, or be like this or be like that. Like you have to kind of be true to yourself and what flows easily for you.
And chart your own path. And I don't think like, and that's kind of when I started blogging. I read this, you know, this blog that I read, and I just loved it. I loved her, and I still do. But and that's more the kind of content I used to write. But then again, I was like, this isn't right for me. Yeah. So it just wasn't. And I think that blogging is not a competitive sport, and it's really easy to get competitive. And sometimes I'll be talking to my husband about it, and I'm like, man, I just, you know, I'll do a job, and then I see the other people that were on the same campaign, and I see their work, and I think, their stuff was so much better than mine. He always says, you can't compare. And I tell him, like, I'm not comparing, but I see that I can step up my game. And so I try to look at other people's work as don't get down on myself for it. You know, I try not to. I try not to compare and say, oh, I don't do this as well. But I try to look at it and say, what can I do better next time? Because look what these people did. Look how creative they got. I should have thought harder about this. Or, you know, use it as a way to improve my content versus a way to feel bad about myself or think like what I'm not as good at them, because you got picked for the same job, right? Like they picked me for a reason, but it's easy to say they did better. So I try not to do that. I try to think like, how can I do better? How can my content be the one that people are looking at going,
they're looking at? Well, and somebody probably is, right?
Yeah, and sometimes it is. Sometimes like the brand will pick it, you know, to share. And so it's like you just, you know.
Well, and just be, and that, I think you hit the nail on the head there with, it's not, that's again, mindset. Whoa.
Whoa, that was weird.
That you're not, it's not competitive. It's not a competitive sport, right? You're not like, we stick together and we elevate the whole community, right?
Right.
Brands are starting to see, and people are starting to see that blogging is a career choice, not just a hobby, and that we need to be paid and compensated for our time appropriately. And so if you're, if we're all sticking together, then that's going to happen for all of us. But not by being like, oh, well, she did that and she did that, and I got to try and be her. And, you know, like, no, just, hey, great job. And like, Carrie and I are in a group, and I kind of joked that I had been stalking a couple of the ladies that are in the group for the last few months, because I liked their stuff. I liked what they were doing, and I wanted to be, I wanted to be friends with them. I wanted them to, you know, I wanted to be friends with them. I felt that they had, they were good, solid people. They were good, solid bloggers. They, and I liked them, what I was seeing. And so I kind of you know, sent emails and talked with them and tried to be a little, you know, give them some value too, and reach out. My thing this year is reaching out to other bloggers and kind of working with other bloggers and building that kind of blogging community where I've been kind of on my own trying to do things. Well, I mean, you guys, but not locally trying to do things with other people. So reaching out and finding those other bloggers that understand, because you know, nobody really understands blogging.
No.
And finding other people that you can talk to about that stuff is going to help your mindset also, that I'm not alone. Other people understand. Other people are struggling the exact same thing. And maybe, what is up with my camera?
I don't know. It's like dark, light, red, blue. It can't choose like a setting or something.
I don't know.
I was wondering at first if it was like your weather, if you're getting off the clouds.
Yeah, it started to rain. Maybe, I don't know. There it goes again. But you know, just like thinking about changing your mindset from a competition to like, we're working together and this person's doing something great, and how can I help them? And how can I learn from them? That's kind of where I was going with that too.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm sure we've gone over 20 minutes. I have no idea, but I think that was good. And like, think about, you know, your mindset. I think that just really like being a part of our group and joining into the conversations in our Facebook group, the Blogging Bunch on Facebook, and not trying to just, hey, I want to get eyes on my blog, right? Like, no, you want to be a part of our group, and we really are very strict about that. Like, this is a community. This isn't, hey, just look at my stuff. So please join our group on Facebook, the Blogging Bunch, and check out our site. We've got like 40 of these free hangouts that you can watch and learn everything from. I think we started #1 a year ago with our top 10 favorite WordPress plugins, and
we should probably redo that.
Yeah, I know there's different plugins now, and some have gone away. And
yeah.
But anyway, there's a lot of content on the website, thebloggingpunch.com. So check it out. And go to carriel.com and type in Chewbacca hash browns.
Hash browns, yeah. And pin the tail on minimus.
There you go. Yes, and pin the tail on minimus. So we will chat with y'all later. Thanks for stopping by.
Bye.
Bye.